All right, we are live. This is the Eric Tries Too Hard podcast. I'm here with members of Sideshow Cinema, Nelson and Shawn.
Yeah.
You guys are fun. All right, so this is going to be a little bit different because I've never actually done I've done these podcasts with multiple people on before, but never like an interviewee one. So this will probably get more into the riffing than the interview portion of it.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm even I could just start talking and make it not awkward. So, all right. So you guys have a band that hasn't played any shows or released any music. Why am I having you on the podcast? Because you're awesome guys. So, so what are you currently working on now?
We are currently working on just working on music and we've been to the studio. We have stuff done, but we unfortunately had to deal with some issues.
You don't have to bring that up just because I'm here. You can just say we have instrumentals recorded.
Yeah, we have instrumentals recorded and stuff, and we're just working on those and stuff like that. So we should be hitting the studio pretty soon, actually.
Nice,
so
nice. And now, just because you had mentioned it, and it's really no big deal. So the drummer in my band, Kurt, was going to sing for you guys, but you guys basically changed genres, and so that wasn't going to work. And so,
yeah. I didn't know how to put that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Like shit happens.
Yeah,
that's not. We get it. But so anyway, joining us now, Kurt. We're gonna have it out. We got a whole fucking Jerry Springer it on you. He's like, listen, Eric. What had happened was.
What happened was.
That's my impression of every trailer park person on Jerry Springer. I almost said Jerry Seinfeld. Very different.
Oh
shows.
my god.
All right. So yeah. So you guys got some instrumentals. So how would you describe? So now here's where I'm. Are the instrumentals that Kurt showed me going to be? You're still releasing those songs just with a different vocalist?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a vocalist? Oh, you did. Yeah, Nelson, you told me.
Yes.
Well, I'm getting a little casual here. The listeners don't know. So, do you have a vocalist?
Yeah, we have a good friend of ours, Trevor. He was in a band called Of Apollo, and unfortunately they broke up. So then we just asked him to join. And the good thing is that he likes the music that we're going for.
Yeah.
He understands. So it's and we actually just recently jammed with him like yesterday, and it was just great chemistry and stuff. So look forward to putting music out there with him and stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna laugh so hard when you put out a CD and it sounds just like old A Place in Time. Like a last minute decision. You're like, you know what worked really well for us? Easy core.
No, hopefully not. We're trying to get away from that.
Yeah, just trying to get away from the whole pop punk and easy core sound.
This is a good time to point out that half of your band is also in A Place in Time.
That is true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is like true.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to get all that out because I wanted people to know about your band and to look out for when Sideshow Cinema starts putting stuff out. So, because there's straight up nothing else to talk about with that, let's have fun. So, I want to ask Nelson a couple of questions,
Okay.
and then he's going to give yes or no answers.
Of course.
And then I'm going to ask Shawn questions, and he's going to give interesting answers for the listeners.
Like in-depth questions. In-depth answers.
No, yeah. So actually, what I'm going to do is, because I've asked these questions to Nelson already, and he actually, on the podcast that Nelson did, which is to this day my most highly downloaded podcast.
Yes.
It's holding on by like 3 more downloads than a couple of the other ones.
Yes.
To be fair, though, it got blown out of the water on streaming plays because I've got a couple of episodes that did really well streaming, but not so much on the downloads. But you, so hold your horses. You're not the undisputed star of this podcast. So I asked these questions to you on that podcast. So I want to also ask Shawn, and then I'll just bring up some topics.
My
and we'll
shirt.
Go from
My god.
Yeah, that is true. Did
my shirt was just like open, like forget it.
It's beautiful. No, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
now this will just be an audio podcast, so
okay, good.
Your almost nipple shot will unfortunately go underappreciated by everyone but us. So Shawn, what going back? before you ever like played any music or anything, what was? I assume you have a deep love of music, correct?
Yes.
You wouldn't be involved in this unforgiving, I don't know, miserable at most times money pit of a hobby if you didn't have a real love of music. Um,
Right.
so what's your earliest memory of not just loving like a record or a song, but that memory where for whatever it was, you just kind of was like, this love of music is something different in my life. There's something different about music that makes me just like head over heels in love with it. Do you recall that moment or a moment like that in your past?
Yeah, I think it was. I didn't start off listening to rock music. I started off with hip hop, and one of my favorite rappers was Eminem, and I just liked the way that he was so emotionally involved with his music, his lyrics, his metaphors, similes, and stuff like that. So growing up, and I grew up in DC, but then I moved to PG, and a lot of times at lunch we would do like rap battles and stuff like that.
It's
So
Prince George's County for those listening.
Prince George County, and we just used to do like a lot of rap battles. So for me, I would like go home, do my homework, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna write some rhymes. And I mean, of course, it was terrible, but then I think like as I did it more and more, I just realized that I really just love the concept of like writing music, songwriting, and stuff like that. And I just like the reactions people got from the stuff I said. And I'm also a rapper, by the way, so it's like
Yeah.
I kind of like I just think I just like the emotional element of music, and I just like it's easier for me to vent that way and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Dude, that's also okay. So this just got 10 times more interesting. Have you released any hip hop?
yeah, I actually had a YouTube page.
Fuck yeah! All right.
Yeah, I have a YouTube page. I have a couple of songs that I was also working on a project, on a side project of
Mhm.
aside from Sideshow Cinema. I was working on a project with my friend Jason, and we did two records. One was the Dynasty intro from Jay-Z's album, and Shook Ones. I don't know if you guys ain't no such thing as halfway crooks, scared to death, and I think a Jadakiss record we did, but other than that, and I was also featured on his mixtape, and I've tried to
Nice.
do my own mixtape, but
Yeah.
I don't have the money to get Pro Tools and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
really? Well,
yeah,
what do you? So for your mixtape, would you just use other beats, other people's beats?
yeah. I mean, I've done this for like the rap thing for about like maybe 2 years, so
Yeah.
I actually have a good foundation of friends who actually make beats and stuff, and
Yeah.
they
Oh, that's
told me.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, if you want a beat, let me know and stuff. But
Oh, that's
then,
nice.
so then Sideshow Cinema started picking up, so I didn't really have time to really work on that
Yeah.
while I was doing that. So, but
That's
yeah,
really cool. I don't know if Nelson told you slash made fun of me. I that's what got me into music as well. Not into listening, but into
yeah, yeah,
performing. Is I did from I guess from well when I was 13 up until I was like 22. I did hip hop, and I guess around 20 I started playing in bands, and I kind of fused the two together. I found another MC who was way better than me, and we wrote together. And I would play guitar and piano. And we had a live band, and he would rap, and I would rap sometimes. But like, I fucking loved that. Like that was always my favorite like method of I guess just music creation was
right.
writing beats. Like that's the other thing I love making beats. That was my fucking favorite thing. That's why I got so excited when you told me that. I was like, fuck yes, I would love to talk about that with you. That's fantastic. I don't know if I told you this, Nelson. Um, I started working on after whatever a 7 year break. Because what I really tried to do was make it doing hip hop, like with the band, and like I toured for fucking ever, and like really worked like for 2 solid years nonstop, and eventually that all fell apart, and so I wanted to quit everything forever. um, but like anyway, so I started making a mixtape a couple months ago,
Are you gonna
and
Nice.
release the old stuff too?
well, I put it up on Bandcamp. I put up our final album, which I actually like, but unfortunately, our MC quit right before we went into pre-production,
Ooh.
and so
Oh,
I did all the rapping, and some of it is fine, but it's also pre-production
right, right,
quality.
right,
Like
right,
we just
right.
recorded it ourselves, and so it was like I love it, but it's still just like I don't know. Yeah, yes, it's out, Nelson, but it's not. It's
'Cause
like I have
I'm
a lot of
trying.
Download that
caveats.
mixtape, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, yeah.
Download it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dropping that fire. I'm dropping a
Dropping that.
baby in 2 weeks and dropping that fire in a couple months.
2
Like,
weeks.
yeah, dude.
Already?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been about 8.5 months. So yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's like, well, I guess
more or
it's
less.
time, you know.
Yeah. Oh, so okay. So that's awesome. And you also mentioned an old Jadakiss record. Are you familiar with the first Lox record? Like,
Somewhat, not really. I
yeah,
really, I don't know. I kind of dwelled on hip hop in a different way. Like I said, I grew up listening to Eminem, like
yeah.
the Eminem show, and
Yeah.
I listened to
Who,
like a lot of underground rappers, like Mood Music by Joe Budden, Royce the 5'9", Crooked Eye,
who
Joel
doesn't love
Ortiz.
Royce?
Huh?
I was so happy when Royce was able to do something with Eminem again after all
Yeah,
those years.
yeah,
That story is a bummer.
yeah, and actually, a lot of people don't know about Royce, which is the weird part. You know, when they think Eminem, they think D12, Dr. Dre, and G Unit and stuff like. But they don't really mention Royce like that. And Royce was actually like a real close friend with Eminem, aside
Yeah,
from Proof and stuff. So I'm not, Jason, the guy I was working with, he's more into the like Nas and Jay Z and
yeah,
Jadakiss and stuff like that. So I'm not really too familiar with like, I mean, I'm a fan of Jadakiss, but I'm not like a huge fan of like
yeah,
Jadakiss and stuff like that. So
yeah. Well, I just remember when I was, I guess, whatever, like middle school was when was shortly after like all of the East Coast West Coast stuff. So all
yeah,
those albums, those classic albums, had been released for a couple of years, or even like, I mean, I guess Life After Death came out when I was in like sixth grade or whatever. And I remember hearing Life After Death and Busta Rhymes When Disaster Strikes, and those
oh
were
yeah,
like
yeah,
holy shit, and
yes,
just went head over heels. At which point, fast forward like a year later, I started like writing like rap music, and three albums came out. Or no, sorry, yeah, like three albums came out. Like I'd have to relook it up to make sure I have all the dates right, but almost like within a year of each other, it was DMX's "It's Dark and Hell Is Hot," Jay Z's "Hard Knock Life Volume 2, and Eminem's "Slim Shady" LP came out like back to back to back. And I was like, holy shit! Just this whole like perfect time to be like obsessed with hip hop. And I remember delving into every Eminem thing I could and finding all these unreleased tracks that he did with Royce, and just being
right,
like, this guy is amazing.
yeah,
He's just so incredible. Man.
Nelson's really confused.
I'm like, I remember.
Nelson's like, I was listening to the Gin Blossoms.
I, I'm like, no, my first rock album was the Foo Fighters. What is it? The Color and the Shape. So it's like
Oh
before
yeah.
that, it was all Spanish music.
Oh wow. I was gonna say the Color and the Shape was like, or no, sorry. No, so the Foo Fighters was probably like the 20th record I bought, and it wasn't Color and the Shape. It was their first record. So suck it. I love this. I never talk to my guests like this. This is fantastic.
Like,
It's like
suck it, you
it's like I
suck.
remember when one of my friends got that first album, and I was like, oh man, that's a pretty good
Yeah.
album cover. I wonder what kind of music that is. Never listened to it.
That's interesting though. Like, so it was just like your family played Spanish music, and that's what you were exposed to, and that was it.
Yeah, it was that, and a little bit of R&B because I'd listened to like 95.5.
Hot 95.5.
That's
Yeah,
That's
that was
funny.
my.
That's
99.
gonna ask Nelson, did he listen to Spanish music? Because, when I actually first met Nelson, funny story, I did not know he was Spanish
No one does. No
until
one
I went
does.
upstairs and I was like, what is with all these El Salvador flags? And he's like, I'm Spanish, man. I'm like, you're Spanish? Like, what? Because he looks like Seth Rogen, so it's like,
Yeah,
think he looks Spanish, and he talks English, and he was speaking English, and it was like I never met his parents, and we never went upstairs because he would always let us do the garage, so it was
Yeah.
like different.
He's like, you don't. These are two parts of my life that I don't want to cross.
Like we keep it separate. We keep it.
Yeah, when I went to learn some songs to fill in for a place in time, his mom wouldn't let me in the house. Thought I was selling something because I came
Yep.
from work.
yep.
I like how it's like the black guy. It's like, oh, that's Sean. Like, oh, come on, black guy, just come
It's
on
like,
in. And then it's like, oh, wait, what is this guy now? He's
yeah,
clearly up to something.
I am.
sounds
I am. Oh man. Well, that's the thing. I should have showed her like my ID. My last name is Navarro, and straight up, everyone who sees that, well, not white people, they don't know, but like any Hispanic person who sees my last name immediately assumes I'm Hispanic because that's like that name is Smith in Mexico. Like it's that common.
Like I automatically assume that Dave Navarro is your uncle.
Yeah. Well, that's what's fucking weird. It's like there are so few Italian Navarros in the world, let alone America, that like I probably am related to him in some way. Neither of us have any Spanish or any traceable Spanish in our bloodline, and both heavy Italian. So it's like the odds are so fucking slim that we're not related in some distant way. Dude, my dad was a studio musician in LA for like 10, 15 years or whatever. And it was in the 80s up until like 90. Or I guess so it would be like late 70s into 80. Maybe it's just the 80s. But he was like, he worked on a lot of like big records, like records that none of us would know about because they're all old. Screw them. But like all like major label type records, I think. I say I think because if he sees this and he's like, "What are you telling people? What are you talking about?" But he was he was one of three Navarros in the. I guess it's back then you'd have like the yellow pages for musicians, so whatever book that had all the music people in the musicians guild or the musicians,
like the Screen Actors Guild or whatever.
Yes, yeah, but for musicians, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There were three Navarros. There was Dave Navarro, Ken Navarro, my dad, and Navarro from Lowen and Navarro. I believe Navarro from Lowen and Navarro is Hispanic, but he and Dave Navarro are not. So he used to get like calls because people would mix up the names and the numbers. He would get calls from people for Dave Navarro, and he always knew it was for him because it was like a drug dealer or like a bookie. He's like, you have smooth jazz guitarist Ken Navarro. You do not have Dave Navarro.
I'm in an interview.
Tell her you're doing press or him. I don't know who it is. If someone interrupts a podcast, I always assume it's the mom or like a wife or a girlfriend.
It was my dad.
Yeah. Oh, it's your dad.
Scary. It sounded like a demon. He was just like, Sean. What?
Okay, so Sean, how'd you get into rock music, and what age?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's why I've done this for a while.
Yeah, well, in elementary school, like we used to do freestyles and stuff like that, but I didn't take it serious until maybe high school when I went to Montgomery Blair, which is like notorious for having musicians and artists and stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys heard of this guy named Eric Hutchinson.
Yeah, holy shit! He does the intro to a podcast I listen to every single day.
Yeah, Eric Hutchinson. He actually went to Montgomery Blair.
Are you serious? That's awesome.
Yeah. And and he came and he was like, yeah, like this place is notorious for musicians and stuff. And then like I met a couple of people, like, and that's actually how I started. I was in another band with a group of friends of mine, and we were just terrible. Nelson was actually the drummer in that band too.
And the guitarist at one point.
And the guitar. And it was just weird. And the funny thing is, it's like I liked rap, but I think rap also made me appreciate other genres of music. So it's like I don't listen to just rap or rock. I listen to country, opera, ambient, like just anything that's like music related. Because I just have.
You want to soak it all in.
Yeah, just exactly.
Taking it all in. Yeah,
taking it all in, and it's like writing hip hop wise also helped me write like rock music wise and stuff like that. And
how awesome is it to write lyrics for a rock song after writing like hip hop for years? Where you're like, I only need like 100 words. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's different, and it's like when I
Yeah, what differences do you find? I think that's so interesting in writing lyrics for the two.
Yeah, it's really, for me, it was difficult at first because like coming into another genre of music, it's like, okay, you don't need to rhyme after every line and stuff like that, and you don't need to. Did he freeze?
I don't know. It looks frozen. It's a good freeze frame too.
It is. Oh my gosh, a screenshot. And I don't know if I should keep talking because I don't know if he can hear me. Because I was just looking and I thought he was reacting to what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait.
Oh wait, here he comes.
Yeah, sorry about that. That actually happened to me yesterday doing a podcast. I don't know why, but it just like pieces me out, and then I can't log in until I like refresh a different page and remind my computer that it works. All right, okay. Sorry. Differences between lyrics, hip hop and rock.
All right. So yeah, when I was doing hip hop, it was definitely difficult going into rock because it was like you don't have to rhyme after every sentence, and you don't have to it's just structured different. Like like a rhyming pattern would be like A B A B, B B A whatever, and then in rock it could be like A B C D E
Yep.
B A B A, and it's like wait, okay, this is different. But I think with rock, depending on the artist, it's more emotional, and I think that's why I kind of love rock more because like I always felt like if you didn't understand what I was saying, then you shouldn't be listening to hip hop. Like, cause my thing is, I like bars, I like metaphors, I like hearing things like, "Go, whoa, that was nice,"
Yeah.
you know. And I feel like rap now is not even about that. It's just like hook, okay, lyrics. If the hook is catchy, that's good
That's
enough.
such a yeah, that's such a bummer. For me, it was like it was weird. It was that I when I got into late '90s like hip hop, the
Yeah,
beats were so good, and I think that's what really drove me into it because I love the melodies of it.
yeah,
And then the lyrics were so like they tell these stories and just wrap you up in it. And I
yeah,
was never a huge fan of punchline rap. Like
yeah,
it was weird. Like that's I never really got into a lot of I don't know. It's just I like the story aspect and not necessarily like the
yeah,
punchline aspect of it. And now I do. I love the metaphors. I love the lines. But like,
yeah,
it's just so I don't know. It's so interesting to me the difference between the two because where you have like eventually I don't know. You get like you use less words in rock music, so it's like each word means a lot more.
yeah,
But
exactly.
at the same time with hip hop, you can tell a different kind of story because you can get more into the details. So it's really like, what are you talking about, and which, I guess, what type of lyrical styling would actually fit this story you're trying to tell?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I like one of my favorite artists is Joe Budden is because he's very he talks about depression, him being on drugs, him and his wife, him and his kid, you know, and I think one of his the most powerful one of his like really good songs is called Only Human, and in his second verse he talks about how he was about to kill himself, and then he's like he's writing a letter to his mom, but he couldn't do it because he didn't know how to say goodbye to her and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's like that type of like the emotional level of hip hop is the stuff I like, but it's like that's not what gets played, and that's the kind of rapper I am. Sort of,
Yeah.
I tell you how I'm feeling, I tell you what I'm going through, but it's like a lot of people don't catch that. But I'm also like a heavy punchliner person too.
Yeah.
So it's like when Nelson, I let Nelson hear one of the songs. I'm like, did you hear that line? Did you get it? And he's like, I got it, Sean. I got it. Like I get it.
Every single time.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, because like one of my lines, I said, um, we're defining hip hop, no need for Webster. I stay up in the lab like my name was Dexter. And he was like, I was like, you get it? You get it? You get it? He was like, I get it, Sean.
I get it. I watched cartoons in the '90s. I got it.
I got the reference. I got the reference. So,
Dude, that's awesome. So here's something else that I've noticed about, especially punchline hip hop. Um, it's that I think it's similar to British humor in that if you say it in a straightforward way, no accent, just speaking, it's the corniest shit you've ever heard. But somehow a British accent speaking or doing it like rapping makes
yeah,
it sound like it turns like a joke that you'd respond to with ugh to oh shit like, and I think that has to do a lot with the
yeah,
rhyming aspect, so it becomes it's a lot more difficult than just coming up with
yeah,
something
exactly.
somewhat
And
clever.
a lot of people don't realize that in rap, they also have like breathing exercises, how to breathe, you know, when to emphasize certain lines and you know, twisting your words around a bit to make it, you know, more flexible and make it more, you know, because it's not just like going into the studio and being like, yo, this is how it, no, like you actually have to like,
These are the words that I'm rapping.
yeah,
These are the words that I'm rapping.
you really
Rap,
have
rap,
to,
rap.
you have
Yeah.
to really have to, you have to want people to listen to you and you have to have conviction in your voice. Like you have to make it seem like you are the best and I'm, like you just have to have swag and the, you know what I mean? Like you're not
You
gonna listen
basically
to,
have to come out like like a quarterback who's like if it's like when Joe Flacco was asked. I know you probably aren't Ravens fans.
look at
Yeah.
Nelson's face.
Like, uh-huh.
That when Flacco was asked during their Super Bowl winning season, they
Oh, okay, okay.
and, he goes, oh, that's how it is. He was asked like, oh, are you the best quarterback in the NFL? And he was like, yeah. And then he did an interview for like one of those season in review things that ESPN or NFL Films did with him with the Ravens and for the Super Bowl winning season. And he and he goes and they referenced that and they showed a clip of the press conference saying he was the best. And he goes, so do you really think that? And he goes, no. But what am I going to say? What am I going to say on TV to my teammates, to my coaches, to my fans? If I go out there and go, no, I'm not. I want my guys to be as confident as possible, and people need to think of me as like I think I can conquer the world. What am I
Yeah.
going to say? Yeah, maybe I'm probably like top 10, maybe top 5, but 6 or 7. It's like,
That
but
would
that's what I'm going to say. It's
that
like,
would have been that would have been funny if he was just like, yeah, this year.
yeah, yeah. Well,
This
but
year,
that's what I think of with rappers, where it's like if you come off and if you don't have that sense of confidence, no one wants an insecure rapper.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And see, but that's different because in hip hop, it's like you have to really be careful with that because a lot of beefs had started because people were claiming they're this. Like T.I. got into beef with Lil Flip about him being king of the South. Joe Budden actually got into a fight with Wu-Tang member Raekwon because he called out Method Man. He said, "I think I'm better. I think I'm lyrically better than Method Man, and I think he is." But it's like
yeah, well, you don't even have to say Raekwon is from Wu-Tang Clan. We all know the chef. We all know the chef.
we know the chef. We know the chef. He's cooking something. So it's like for me, I kind of do that too. I'm kind of saying like, yo, you will never beat me in a rap battle. Like if I'm dead serious, you will not beat me in a rap battle. Like no, it's not gonna happen. No, no.
Then behind closed doors, you're like, yeah, some people could probably beat me in a rap battle.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna be real honest with
I'm
myself.
like, yeah, if Nelson really tried, he probably could like outbar me. Like he could really outrap me.
He gets angry, he starts rapping in Spanish.
Yeah, that's all he has to do, and I'm like, I'm done.
Oh my god. Oh man. So 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 what got you to start playing? So you started what?
Wow.
So when you said your old band with Nelson, you meant what were you guys called?
Oh God, man, I don't even know what to say.
Cage Heart Lion.
Oh, that was like what year was that?
Here you go, Eric. It's like, all right, this interview's over.
I thought you meant the band that I guess Sean wasn't in that band. The last version of Sideshow Cinema with
No. Oh no.
First,
No.
The original Sideshow Cinema was in like 2006, 2007.
Okay, I gotcha.
This was right before A Place and Time, so it was like 2010.
Yeah. And we went through so many changes. I think what it was, I was singing, which was a terrible mistake.
Were you also playing bass, or is that a new thing?
No. Then they was like, yeah, you should just pick up the bass. And the thing is, when I pick up something, I want to learn it. I want to kind of master it. So I've probably been roughly playing for about 3 or 4 years. And Nelson can tell you straight up, when I first picked it up, I was terrible. I couldn't strum right, anything. And then the band broke up. He went to A Place and Time.
Yeah.
And then he was like, hey, we should do a side project. And then, well, I was working on a project by myself called Everyone for Themselves. And I met Chris. And then Chris was jamming with Nelson. And then
Chris Perez.
Yeah, Chris Perez. And then he was like, yeah, I've been jamming with this guy named Nelson. And I'm like, Nelson? Is this the same Nelson? And then I end up going back to Nelson. So then we made Ordinary Bones, and we played that show with you guys at the Pinch.
So, okay, that's when I first met you, I think, or maybe I met you before. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because you guys were playing. I think it was Carry the Banner.
Oh, that wasn't at the Pinch. That wasn't at the Pinch. I didn't think the Pinch was a different one. I think.
No, that was the Pinch.
No, we played it in Baltimore. That was Baltimore. I'm telling you.
No.
That's a different band that you played with then, because Ordinary Bones only had one show.
So
at the Pinch.
Hold on. So that was the Pinch. Oh, you know why? You know why I'm confused? Because
in the old line.
With you guys, we played another show with you guys, not as Ordinary Bones, in Baltimore, and Carry the Banner also played that show. That's why I was confused. Gotcha. Okay.
I remember that. Yeah, that was Angels Rock Bar, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. So do you remember? Did Nelson ever tell you what I said about you the first time I saw you, or the second time I saw you play? Or no? Did he actually tell you what I actually said, or did he Nelson it and change it?
He said something about like your basses is he needs to tighten up or something like that.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. Nelson comes up and goes, "Tell me how everyone in the band played." I didn't just come up and start talking about his band.
Like, oh, you guys are fucking terrible.
And he asked, and I said, and I'm only bringing this up because I know that Nelson, whatever, Nelson doesn't care. So I said, don't let anyone tell you to kick your bassist out. I said, even though he'll want to tighten up and keep playing, if somebody might see him and say, oh, he's not tight enough, get another bassist, I said, there were certain things you did from watching certain techniques you had and just like little, even just non-verbal stuff, or obviously you didn't say verbal, just non-playing aspects, but kind of the way you carried yourself. It was like someone who was learning the instrument properly, which takes a lot longer than someone who just decides, I'm going to learn how to play fancy stuff and play it half-assed my whole career. Yep. You were learning how to play it correctly, which is a slower process. And so I was like, that guy is going to be really, really good. Do not replace him. no matter what anybody
Now,
says.
Nelson didn't say all that.
I know.
Eric was like, yeah, Eric said tighten up. I was like, huh. And the weird thing is, I couldn't hear myself.
Oh,
Like,
that doesn't help.
yeah, so I was playing, and like our lead guitarist, he always has his stuff so loud. So all I could hear was literally his leads, some of the drums, and I'm like, I don't know where
Where is everything?
like where are we at? And you know, so it was just bad.
You're probably tighter anyway, but that's no. And what made me, I kind of knew that. I think Nelson told me all that, and the fact that you like were still really cool with me from like even the next time I saw you, I was like, he thinks that I just said that his playing wasn't good, and he's so cool with me. Like this guy is awesome.
That's Nelson. Nelson is such a downer. Like if we go to a bar and there's a girl, he'd be like, I'm like, oh, that girl's cute. She's probably married. It's like,
you did that.
Like what?
She's probably married.
Yeah, the hand thing. He's like, she's
probably married.
So it's crazy. But yeah, I couldn't really hear myself at that. And the thing is, I think the amps were mic'd, and I was playing when we were testing our sound. He was like, "Turn your bass down." I'm like, "You know, I'm playing by myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing with 3 other people plus a screamer and a singer." So it's like he was like, "Yeah, turn it down," and I should have just turned it up, but I could not hear myself at all. So I was just like struggling. To hear everything. So
well, at that show, your lead guitarist is the one who was doing all the soloing, right?
Yeah.
It's like literally a 4-minute solo.
His tone he was taking up a lot of the low end, like the mid to low end.
Yeah.
Like just with the tone that he had, it was very, very thick tone. So like I could also see your bass just getting like some of the higher notes just getting, and by higher I mean like anything A and above, just getting garbled up in the EQ. And there's no way you would have heard it. You probably could hear the lowest things you were playing, but that was about it. But like, and Angels, they just blast the sound anyway. They just fucking like, turn everything up.
Turn everything up. Yeah. I don't even think he listened because I think Nelson was like, "Can I get more bass in this one?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, totally.
And then Nelson's playing, and he's like, "No bass."
That's not there. Yeah.
All I could hear were the leads. That's it.
Exactly. It was terrible. And
now, is that lead player still in your band?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay, I did not think so. Danny is such a good guitarist, and he's in both the places.
Yes. Danny is hilarious. Danny is so. And the thing about Danny is what I like is that he pushes himself so much. It's ridiculous. Like if we're playing a song, he's like, "I'm not trying to say anything, but I really worked hard on these leads," and it's just crazy. Like he always pushes himself like so like to the limit, and you know. He really he wants to be proud of these songs and stuff. Yeah, he wants to be really proud of these songs we have, and like, I think everyone will like this. You know, the music we have once it comes out and stuff. Like, cause Danny just did a phenomenal job on the lead.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. That's what you like when I first heard him play. I forget. I think it was either a demo that you guys did or it was just like on a Place and Time show. And I saw him playing, and I was like, "This, nice job, good work, good work. Like, whoever found him, good work."
Like the acoustic show at Kurt's place when it was like freezing cold and he's playing acoustically and it's just like I'm like,
oh dude, fuck, oh my god.
Yeah, I was like,
every year when we do that show, it's my hands freeze up so bad. Like it's the coldest show in the world.
That's why you gotta get as drunk as possible.
Oh my god, I love that. That's
like, I just laughed and everybody's just like
January 2014 was when I was like, I'm not gonna like get drunk at shows because all of 2012 shows and the vast majority of 2013, our whole band was just hammered, and then 2014, I was like, I actually know how to play guitar a little bit now because I learned how to play guitar for this band. I was like, I've learned how to play guitar a little bit. Maybe I don't need the alcohol to loosen me up, and so I just played sober. But I allowed myself like 2 shows a year. I was like, and that's one of them. I was like, just get bombed and just like have the most fun time in the world.
Yeah, me and Nelson like agree on that too. Like we can't drink.
Yeah.
Before the show, we just can't.
It's like the last time I tried to do 1 beer before playing, my heart felt like it was gonna explode the whole time we were gonna play.
I had a shot and I got nervous and you know.
Really?
And I'm just like, and I'm just like. Just sweating bullets like R. Kelly at a Girl Scout meeting. It's like ridiculous.
That's why I'm okay with playing first these days.
What merit badge you working on?
So no drinking before a show. And then I remember a place and time show, Nelson, when Danny was like hammered. Oh my gosh, it was that was just so funny. It was just Danny's hilarious.
Yeah.
Danny's hilarious.
I remember that Sean, were you at the this was a drinky show when we heavyweights played with the place and time at Charm City Art Space, and our bassist didn't show up, so I had to play bass.
No, I heard about that. And
If you were there for that, we would have been like, "Hey, can you just play in key for a little bit?"
Yeah.
But so at that show, the opening band. Do you mind me telling the story about the opening band, Nelson?
No, go right ahead.
Okay. So the opening band was a bunch of it was like a jam band, very jamish band, whatever. From I guess they all went to Towson or something. Like they were like college bros basically.
Yeah.
And so after the show, like they let me borrow their bass gear for our set, and so I was like, I didn't have any money for them, so I was like, do you like drink? I have alcohol. And they're like, oh yeah, we drink. And so two of the guys from the band go with us to Nelson's car. And here's the thing: they may be able like college bros, but they weren't like frat bros. They weren't like they were pretty. I don't know. They were like introverted. Like they were kind of quiet and shy and like very nice and whatever. So they go out to the car with us, and I take a sip and pass the bottle, and then the dude takes like a gulp, passes it to the other dude, and the dude just starts chugging. Like just this bottle of whiskey. He's just chugging, gives it back to the other guy. He's drinking a bunch. So we're all having a conversation, and everybody sounds completely normal, just passing the bottle around. And then all of a sudden, the guitarist from the other band just goes, "Hold on one second." Walks out of the car, goes over to the bridge near where we parked, and starts puking off the bridge. Like minutes after he started drinking.
He like does not even bend over. He's literally standing upright and just starts throwing up. Like it's just projectile vomit, just like ugh.
Oh, I'm so lazy. Ugh.
And so then he walks back into the car and goes, "So where's that bottle?" And continues the conversation.
Like, maybe you should just stop drinking.
And yeah, exactly. And then the other dude goes back into Charm City after doing a bunch of gulps, and he's just sitting, waiting for us to play so I can give him his bass gear back, and he can go home. And he's just sitting in Charm City, and then all of a sudden, I didn't see it, but some of the guys in my band did. He just throws up on the floor, and then walks to the bathroom and stays there for like the rest of the night. But he was just sitting there, apropos of nothing, and just vomits, and then walks away.
Oh god, that's like crazy.
Yeah, that was a horribly awesome, terrible show.
Yeah, and then the strap broke on the bass. The bass.
Oh
strap
yeah,
broke,
I did give him money because I bought him a strap.
And then Danny had to hold up the bass while you kept playing the song.
Oh, that's right.
On the set.
So that's oh my god. I drank because I was like, I'm playing bass, so one, I can play bass drunk. Who cares?
Yeah.
And two, this show obviously means nothing anymore. We don't even have a full band. We're not gonna have a lead guitar player. So fuck it. I don't care anymore. I just want to have fun in front of my friends. And so but here's the thing. I drank too much, like more than I expected to, I guess, because I think I was just so in awe of everything that was happening. I rocked out so hard to that Easycore band. I bought 10 of their albums because they were all $1. It's like I was passing them out like I was working.
Like yeah, I'm in this band. Check them out.
So then I started playing, and here's the thing though. I've been talking about how good of a bass player I was to my band forever, but they'd never heard me play because why would they? And so I played sloppy because I was drunk, but also I realized, one, I'd never played on that guy's bass before. Two, I hadn't played a bass in like 6 months. Three, I'd never played our songs on bass in my life since I wrote them. Never played them. And so, of course, afterwards, I just hear in the, like, Eric Taft told me, he's like, yeah, I heard you're terrible at bass, and that was all a bunch of big talk. And I was like, oh, damn it. I was like, who'd you hear that from? He goes, everybody. I'm like, oh, fuck. Blew my chance. Yeah. All right, so, I keep trying to do this in interview format, like, keep going back to it, but I, like, know you guys, and it's not like you guys have, like, a whole, like, record to promote right now. But how would you describe Sideshow Cinema, just to get a feel for people listening?
Like musically?
No, as people.
As people? Well, we're nice guys.
We're nice guys. Sadistic psycho.
Oh my god, they're like the nicest. How often do you hear that about every band ever? They're just the nicest guys.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go through everybody. All right, Nelson is like a downer.
Yeah.
and like
Even
and
your
wait,
response to
and like really racist, like so racist. Sometimes Danny's Danny's chill, but like he talks a lot. Like Danny will literally talk about the same thing for like 5 minutes, but he'll repeat it. He'll be like, "Yo, this guitar part is really hard. Yo, this guitar part is not easy." It's like you just said that. Like we get it. So Brandon, our other guitarist, he's just really laid back, chill. Trevor, who just joined the band, he's pretty chill, and I'm like the comic relief black guy. So it's
the
like
bad boy, if you will, the lady. Yeah.
no, I'm like really just like just chill.
I'm
But
just sitting
we're all
here
cool.
collecting panties. It's no big deal. Just
And then, well, I think probably like Dance Gavin Dance-ish, a lot like Birds, Pierce the Veil, Circus Survive, ambient, experimental kind of sound,
Yeah.
post-hardcore-ish. I'm not really good with genres, so I'm gonna let Nelson.
Yeah, like that's essentially it. Those two songs that you heard before with Kurt will be the one of them will be literally the poppiest song that we'll have,
yeah.
Yeah,
and the other one is more towards what we're going for, but it's
So
still
I'm gonna
kinda
I'm gonna like one of your songs, but I'm gonna love it. So that's enough, right?
yeah.
You'll
I'm
probably
just
like our other songs because we have another song that's very pop punkish, but still heavy at the same time. Not easy core-ish, but it's still like I don't know because we just said we didn't want to like dwell in the pop punk
yeah.
um area for too long, but it's like we still want to take like fundamentals of pop punk and bring it into the song, but still not have it be pop punk.
Yeah, so I totally like
Yeah,
I I just for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of heavy music. It's one of those things where I'm like, I would never say a heavy band sucks because I don't know.
yeah.
It's like I don't think it's fair to if you're not overly excited about a genre because it's not even like I hear it and I go ugh. No, I hear it and I'm like, oh okay. Like I would. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna love the shit out of your band live. Like that's what I'm gonna love. I love heavy music live. But same with jam band music. I'll see that shit all day long. But then I just won't listen to it on the record. But like from what I've heard from your the songwriting abilities of your band members, I think whatever genre it is, I expect it to be really good. Even the demos I've heard.
Yeah, because we really just like I said, like Danny pushes himself. Like we all reach that point where we're like, we want to push ourselves. We want to like try new things, and a lot of double bass for Nelson. And then one thing I always said is like when we recorded, I was like, I just want to hear my bass parts because I wrote these really good bass parts.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
as long as I get to hear my bass parts, I'm good. So definitely a lot more bass parts.
As someone who's played bass in a number of bands and recorded records where there are certain bass parts you don't hear at all.
Yeah, and I'm like,
that's so fucking frustrating.
Like when we got the first mix,
I kept always hearing like, yeah.
No, my bad. But when we got the first mix, I was like, yeah, sounds good. Where's the bass? Like, where's that bass?
Yep.
Where's the bass? And they're like, he's like, I didn't tweak the bass yet. I'm like, well, this mix is not done. It's flawed. Fix the bass.
Dude, it's just flawed. I'm gonna tell you that right now. What's crazy to me is, and this happens a lot, and I don't know, even with really professional like engineers, and I don't know if it's because I get friendly with them and they feel pretty comfortable or what, but they always touch me. No, but I'll get these first mixes back where I'll listen and I'll be like, this is not at all done.
Yeah,
like this is. Do you really think that I think it's like, do you really think I'm gonna hear this or anyone would hear this? Would you actually ever put this out? Do you think this is in any way, shape, or form a finished product? Yeah. And not in the sense like, oh, it doesn't sound good enough. I'm talking like the levels don't make any kind of sense. Like it's like this doesn't sound like any song that's ever existed. And so like I think that comes from studio engineers who end up they don't listen on any speakers other than their really nice giant studio speakers that everything sounds great on, and they only listen to it at a really loud volume where dynamics mean nothing. Yeah. And it's just like, and so that's where I think the disconnect comes from. And I think a lot of like studio engineers will have these giant subwoofers and have great bass in their speakers, and they will, to them, the bass is coming through loud and clear, but on literally no one else's speakers, you can hear the bass.
Yeah, and I think it's also because like if you're like mixing for something for so long, you get like tone deaf, and you listen to the same thing all day long. So you're just like, okay, I don't know what I can tweak to it now because I've been listening to it since 7 in the morning, so it's done, and then they just send it. So it's like I kind of like it where like because I was talking to this one guy who wanted to record Sideshow Cinema, but I was like, no, we're gonna go to Andy,
Mm.
Andy from Wander,
Yep.
and
I was gonna say shout them out.
the Wander, and then he was like, yeah, you want someone else mixing your stuff because someone who listens to it for so long, they're gonna get tone deaf and they're gonna keep hearing the same thing, so they're not gonna know which part to, it's kind of like when you, yeah, I mean, pretty much what I'm saying, tone
Yeah.
deaf,
Yeah.
and so it makes sense, but
Okay, Danny.
you're like, yeah, I'm becoming a Danny.
No, dude, me too. Well, that's what's so funny is when Kurt was in the band, he had told me because I was talking like I met Danny a few times, and he said he goes,
Yeah.
dude, Danny is like there's this guy named Connor who used to be in our band,
Yeah.
who was one of my best friends. He's a groomsman at my wedding, but there were serious guitar issues in that he wasn't learning to play the parts
Nice.
or the instrument. And I had to, well, that's why we had him and Matt leave the band. That's the polite way to put
Yeah.
it. Because I had to write down to their abilities,
Yeah.
and they still couldn't play the parts. And I was like, nope, we're done. But anyway, but point being, we loved Connor as a human being. Love Matt too, but like, so it's a good thing that he's compared to Connor, even though we kicked him out.
Yeah.
But he was like, he told me, he was like, it's like Connor in like that aspect, but also in how like he's a really awesome guy. But he's also, but unlike Connor, he's like really hardworking at his instrument and amazing at his instrument.
Yeah, he really pushes himself. It's to the point where he like I'm terrified he may like like
Leave
come
you?
back with like no come back with like bags under his eyes and
Oh.
cigarettes, and he's like, guys, I've been trying to write this lead, man, but it's like, it's like, all right, take it easy, Danny. But I mean and the thing is he likes that, and the thing is like he compliments everyone in the band. He doesn't just compliment himself. Like he's like, I'm not really that good, and it's like, yes, you are, and he really likes he compliments Brandon, but then Brandon's like, no, dude, like your lead is fucking amazing, and then he'll be like, oh, Nelson, I like those drums, I like that bass part there, I like the vocals, like he's just really happy.
We're like
with,
Sideshow Circle Jerk.
yeah, like, just riding each other's dicks. And
But you're all very talented, so that actually like it always feels like up until the lineup that I have for my band right now. And maybe one other band I've been in the past of like 7 bands and countless lineups. I don't think I've ever had like a full lineup where everyone is talented. It always seems like there's a weak link for whatever reason.
Yeah. And the thing I said was that like even as a bassist, I feel like a lot of people like being like it's easy to learn to play bass, but it's hard to master it because there's so many techniques and a lot of things that you can do. And it's like I don't want to be that bassist that just plays root notes all the time, and then like I want to stand out. So that's why, like when we did the MIB song, when it was first like I was just playing the root notes, and I was like, no, I'm not going to just play this. I'm going to be adding more to it, and
Wait, what song was that?
MIB.
Is that the Men in Black theme song?
Yeah, the Men in Black. It was supposed to be MIB, so people can make up whatever they want for it. So it could be Men in Black, Missing in Bushes. I don't know.
Missing in Bushes.
like anything. But then we were like, we need to put something up. So then they were like, let's just make a snippet of it. And then and then the thing is like when you listen to it, you can literally hear everything. You can hear the drums, the guitars, the leads. No vocals, of course, but So
yeah. Dude, hey Nelson, Sean's a really good interviewee.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Nelson is horrible.
Like Sean and Danny would probably be the best for this.
Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately, Danny couldn't have done it.
Not Danny, because Danny would have been like.
Yeah, we'd probably still be on the second topic.
I mean, we still be on the second topic. He'd be like, I mean, hip hop is good, but like, I mean, I really like. And it's like,
dude, are you all doing the Nelson hand gesture now?
Yeah. It's like,
this is fantastic.
But Danny does it like all the time. Danny's like. And then Danny has this like the saying where he's like, "Stop being a pussy, you bitch," and it's like, what?
By the way, Nelson, I also do that hand thing. It just started because I did it as a joke, and now I can't stop. I don't do it that often, but when I'm like,
there's a picture of Nelson. It's a meme, and it says, "What you should do," and he's like this, and we should like make that a shirt, like or like a sticker or something. It's like what you should do is download Sideshow Cinema, like so. Yeah.
Speaking of inside memes for like our little music community, and keep in mind, I don't mean the Maryland music community. I mean like the random 8 bands, like us all included, that we've randomly just found each other, and like it couldn't. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I'm so happy that I've met all of you guys. Like it's so fucking cool to hang out. But like, but like one of my favorite inside joke memes. Yeah, exactly. One of my favorite inside joke memes is when Eric was playing in a place in time.
Douchebag Eric? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, and it's him just yelling at Joel, but he's got kind of a half smile, but half like, hey man, the look on his face. They're both playing, and he's opened his mouth real wide, yelling something, and it looks like it's being friendly, but he's also like giving Joel an instruction, or maybe it was during an old line set. I don't know who was playing with whom. But he like I think he said in real life what he was saying was "watch your attack," and so I just love that with the words "watch your attack" over it, just like, and all those other people who posted like basically Eric saying either douchebag instructions because we've all recorded for him. So, like, he's all yelled at us at one point or another.
Yeah. It's like, that was great, do it again.
Yeah,
that was one point, do it again.
That's
like,
my
Danny showed us the meme. Yeah, it was just like, that was a great take. Do it again. And he has, like, this smirk on his face.
Yeah.
Like
that was
this, like, condescending smirk, just like, do it again.
And because in that picture, the Watch Your Attack picture where he's playing live and yelling at Joel, because he kind of has the half smile, I love when people post non sequiturs like, "Did you know orange Jell-O is made of," or whatever. It's just him telling random facts to Joel with that in the middle of a set, and that picture is so perfect. I'm gonna post that as like my new like Facebook profile picture. Like that's all I want. Start to tell. Yeah. We should. All right. So we're gonna wrap up. I wanna. Are there any places where people can find Sideshow Cinema stuff, or any other plugs you guys want to give? Like this. By the way, this probably won't come out for another month or two. So if you have anything you know that's gonna come up in a few months, like maybe we're playing a show.
Month or two. We're working on. Well, we have those 2 songs recorded, and then we have these 3 songs we're working on. So we're probably gonna try to record all 5 of them and have a 5-song EP, hopefully out by May.
Hopefully. That's not a quote. Don't quote him. Hopefully.
I will never quote him.
We also have a show actually on the 11th.
Yeah.
Of what?
April 11th.
Okay.
Yeah, like I just said, the 11th of December.
Yeah, you know.
Like, yeah, so look out for that coming. So
where is it?
Be interesting.
Yeah,
where is it?
The Trash Mansion, which is Chelsea's house.
Oh, that's what they're calling that. Okay, I got it. Because I kept saying every once in a while I'd see stuff for that because I've been there before. I saw you guys.
Yeah.
But I was like, every time I see Trash Mansion, I'm like, what the fuck is the Trash Mansion? Okay, that's cool. I just interviewed Chelsea an hour ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, all right, cool. Well, thank you guys for coming on. And when I go to post this, I'll post your links to anything. So send me, honestly, either one of you, send me some links on Facebook so I just have them.
It's literally like facebook.com/Sideshow Cinema.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not typing that out. I'll give you a copy paste, but I'm not typing that out.
You could just send them the link.
Sideshow Cinema.
Send the link.
.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, he's like,
are you guys on the Twitter?
Not yet.
I don't really. Oh, you mean the band? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think they're like individually.
I think I'm following.
Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't like Twitter. I don't know.
It's like Twitter's fun, but something about Instagram is just a little bit more fun.
You know, Instagram? I've never touched Instagram.
I think the last post was like 3 weeks ago. I'm slowly like, I don't know.
All right, well, find Nelson on Instagram. Type in the URL yourself because he won't copy paste it for us. All right, well, this has been Sideshow Cinema. Thank you guys so much for coming on, dude. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. All right, I will catch you guys soon.
All right.